buzzword now. The entire world is talking about it. Some of you already know us from before, where your AI Equities app, and you've known us. You know the kind of work we've been doing. We couldn't have not been there in the crypto space. So here we are now, and we can't wait to talk to you about it. But before we get to what we do and what we will offer you and what our app can do, I think it's important to understand what is this whole world of crypto all about. And that is why today we have with us Akshay Bhargava, chairman and founder of the founding company of InvestorAi, which is Prajweev. And this intro is important, I think, because I'd like to really welcome all of you who are new to our webinar series, and now will stay connected with us, and we will tell you how to do that. So the chat is open. You can always put in your questions, and we have experts on our side who would will try and answer your questions. Else we will take some of them towards the later part of the session. But I don't want to keep talking, and I'm very excited. So Akshay, the stage is all yours. Over to you. So let's ready, steady, crypto.
Thank you so much, Shruti. And thank you all once again for joining. Delighted to be here and talk to you a little bit about crypto investing. You should know that for the longest, I have not been a believer in crypto. Okay. I first thought this was just nonsense. Then I thought this was a Ponzi scheme. Then I thought this was a fraud. So I have been through the whole denial, acceptance journey, whatever you want to call it. I think I'm now at a place where I think that crypto is going to be a legitimate financial asset class, whether you like it or not. It is, that's one. Secondly, it is going to be an immensely volatile asset class, whether you like it or not. We keep hearing of central bank digital currency, but CBDCs, as they are called, CBDCs cannot afford this volatility. So while they will be issued, I think they will be very, very stable. And there will be a stable market for digital assets, and there will be a volatile market for digital assets. And we are now talking about the volatile piece. So thirdly, the volume of crypto investing that is happening, the interest there is in it, the velocity of transactions is just exploding. And this is even before some mega use cases come into thing. So I don't think we can ignore it if we live in financial services or do that. Our self-assessed, proclaimed vision and mission is to help investors make better decisions. And we are really focused on the digital investors of today, mostly young people. And the two asset classes of choice for millennial investors are equities and crypto. So InvestorAi Crypto is a very logical extension of what we have been doing all this while. But let me talk about some general things about the industry. People can't make up their mind. Is crypto one of the greatest financial innovations of our time? Or is it just one great scam? I think I am more on the innovation side. But look, I perfectly accept. I'm not going to argue with you if you say this is a Ponzi scheme and a scam. A lot of people believe that. Time will prove who is right. But I think there is more and more evidence of legitimate economic activity here. There are opportunities and there are great opportunities. There are risks and there are great risks. We just need to be aware of all of them. And this purpose of this webinar is not to persuade you to do one thing or the other. I know from previous conversations, there are some of you on this webinar who have told me that we will never invest in crypto. And you're welcome, and I respect your choice and decision. But you may choose never to invest in crypto, but you cannot not know about it. Okay, so treat this as a knowledge session. For those of you who are already investors, I hope this will help you. For those of you who are sitting on the fence, wanting to invest, not knowing what to do, I think this will definitely help you. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm talking about it. So some of the opportunities that I see, it is genuinely democratic access. Anyone with a computer can get in. Okay, you don't need to have a lot of money. You don't need to be very sophisticated. You don't need to live in a developed country. You can be anywhere, anyone, any age, any profile, and you will get access. And mostly, for the most part, it's free. Secondly, there is a ton of data. You look at the equity market, there is so much data. You look at crypto market, there's so much data. But in equity markets, Bloomberg will charge you an arm and a leg to give you that data. In the crypto market, it's all free. So it's very democratic and very egalitarian. Thirdly, I find crypto incredibly digital friendly. And of course, there's the philosophical aspect that some tokens and currencies have finite capacity, so they are not prone to inflation just the way our fiat currencies are, where the chancellor or finance ministers at a stroke of a pen can issue more money supply, which in crypto you can't. Now, finally, one can make a lot of money. On the flip side, there are many scamsters out there. Okay, I can see somebody raising hand. If you forgive me, I'm not going to interrupt the flow. Please hold your questions, put it on the chat forum, and we will be glad to take it up. Okay. So on the risk side, there are many scams out there. It is very hard to make sense of what is going on. Sometimes most people are lost when they try to invest in crypto. Digital accounts are very prone to hacking. I have myself suffered one instance myself, so I know firsthand, how it can be. There are 7,000 plus currencies. How do you know which one to invest in? And you can lose a lot of money. I know people who have lost an incredible amount of money. It's really very worrying and very sad. So, this is really high risk, called high volatility, not for the faint of heart. There is a phrase that is used in crypto investing called HODL, pronounced HODL, which basically stands for hang on for dear life. This is going to be a roller coaster ride. Just grab your armrest and stay for the ride. So what do you do? And I am finding, both in my wealth management days and today, when in the last few years that I've been running Bridgeweave, and ever since I founded the company, a lot of people have come to me and saying, look, we want to invest in digital currencies, crypto, NFTs, etc. But what do I buy? I don't know. Who can tell me what to buy? Is this the right time to buy? What is the right time to sell? How can I make money? Now, these are questions people ask in equity markets as well. So these are not new questions. But in equity markets, there is a lot of data, help, advisory folks, asset management companies, mutual funds that they tried to solve that problem. In the crypto world, there's nothing. There's very little, and you don't know what you can trust and what you can't trust. And that is really why we felt that there was a real gap in the market for something like InvestorAi Crypto, which we are about to launch shortly. So I want to talk a little bit about this, and then I'm going to go back into how do you get started, what are the steps, and so on and so forth. So InvestorAi Crypto is a very different kind of a product. I think it's first of its kind in the market. There are similar things, but not something quite like this. So let me explain what it is, and then you can decide for yourself. Firstly, we make it very easy for everyone to invest. We show you strategies you can use. In other words, we give you a recommendation. We let you decide how much you want to invest. We let you use your own exchange account. So we never touch your money. Your money stays in your exchange account. We let you set your investment parameters, and we take care of all the buying and selling. So this is a machine that gives you recommendations, tells you what you can do. And if you say, yes, I want to invest $2,000, it will go and do everything for you. Okay, we could not possibly make it any more convenient. So, on the left-hand side, you'll see 3 or 4 key aspects. So the whole thing runs on AI algorithms that, our team at Bridgeweave has created. We give you 2 trading strategies, and I will tell you what they are in a moment. All trades take place in your own account. we never touch your money. We are just a overlay thing. So we are not an exchange. We are not a wallet. You continue to stay in your exchange and in your wallet, whatever you have today, and think of us just as an overlay service that handles all the transactions for you. Okay, it's like if you had an assistant on your side doing all the work. And the way we do it is we have trading bots that we have created that automate all the trading. Okay, so now that you know we are into trading, let me ask you a couple of questions. So Prabal, if you wouldn't mind, I want to know how many of you are crypto investors today. We have roughly 45 people on this call. So would you mind putting the poll? Just pick yes or no. Yeah.
Can you see it, Akshay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So almost evenly distributed, more towards yes, and 60-40, I would say. Okay. Thank you, Prabal. You can take it down. One of the other questions I have, and bear with me for a second. My theory is that most crypto investors are younger people. Now, this coming from a 65-year-old, who is very interested in crypto, I don't know if this is a good statement, but let me just ask you what age group you belong to. You don't have to tell me your exact age, just the age group, the age range that works for you. So, Prabal, would you mind putting up that question? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I'm wrong. I am absolutely wrong. Under 30 is about 25%. 35% is 30 to 40. And 40 to 50 is 15%. And 50 plus is 30%. Yes, go 50 plus. I'm very, very pleased to see compatriots 50 plus because I would fall in that group. One last question. So this is a very pointed question, and you will understand why I'm asking this. Have you heard of an exchange called Binance? So Binance is the largest exchange in the world, crypto exchange in the world by far, with trades of some $290 billion a day. The massive exchange, global exchange, etc. I want to know how many of you have accounts there. And if we asked you to, how many of you would be prepared to open accounts, and how many would say, no, I don't want to go to Binance at all? And you'll see why I'm asking. So Prabal, would you mind putting that question up? Oh, that's good. That's really nice. So about a third, 40% of the people are saying, yes, I already have a Binance account, and the rest are happy to open one if needed. That is very encouraging. Thank you so much. I'm really, really pleased to see that. Thank you, Prabal. You can take the question off. So coming back to my slides, and I just have a few slides. So this is what InvestorAi Crypto does. We give you two trading strategies. One is called Alpha Hunter. The other is called Smart Accumulator. Think of them as a hunter and accumulator. The hunter strategy covers 54 currencies, and it covers very short trading cycles, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, up to 6 hours. And these are selected by the machine. And the objective of hunter strategy is to deliver alpha returns with very low volatility, okay, in any market condition. That is a very, very important qualifier. The accumulator strategy only covers Bitcoin and Ether. So if you choose Bitcoin, it is designed to give you more Bitcoin than you start with. And I can explain further if you want, but just take my word for it for the moment. On the right-hand side, you'll see the architecture of the machine. There's a recommendations engine that we have created. There is a transaction engine, which is basically a series of trading bots. There is a knowledge fabric that is our secret sauce in terms of how to make the algos and everything work efficiently. And this is really, really hard-won information and knowledge, and we made so many mistakes in our testing, etc. And all that knowledge is embedded in what we call the knowledge fabric. And then there is a beautiful front end that you're going to see. We worked with a German design firm to come up with it. we like it a lot. It's very simple. It's very easy, and it's. I hope you'll find it fun. So those are the two trading strategies that will be available. Do they work? And now I'm going to show you. This is a screenshot from a live test we are running for Alpha Hunter at the moment. And this is my account. And I'm codenamed Marlebon. For those of you who are fans of Money Heist or La Casa de Papel, we have named all our live test participants after cities and locations, because London, we have so many people. So one is Marylebone, one is Hammersmith, one is Clapham, and so on and so forth. This particular this is my account. We started the live test on 26th of March, 5 days ago. I started with $300. I'm now $351.51, 17.17% return. In the same period, in the 5 days, Bitcoin has moved 6.5%. So this has outperformed Bitcoin handsomely. Okay. We've had 21 cycles, some 3 hours, some 6 hours, some 7 hours, or not 7 hours, 5 hours, etc. So 21 cycles, of which 43 have been winning cycles. Okay. The current cycle that is running, it is a 4-hour cycle. It's got 2.8 hours to go. There are 2 positions, both are active, and the return is 0.1984%, which will get added to my total return once the cycle is over. So this is the level of detail to which we have backtested this for 10 months. We have been to 1,200 cycles on this. And so we are reasonably confident that this is going to work well. But of course, when you go live, that is a very different story. But some people have asked me on our Telegram channel that, can you share backtesting? Can you tell us how well these work? Well, here is some data. Okay, there's a ton of data we have on backtesting, but I'm not going to share that. The live test is the real data with live money, real money trading, and this activity is monitored every 5 seconds by the machine, so it's very, very real time. How much does it cost? We have an incredibly investor-friendly fee structure. We're going to base it on a system of credits. We will charge you 1 credit per trading cycle for Hunter and 1 credit per day for accumulator. And for Hunter, not for accumulator, if it's not a winning cycle, you don't pay. So if you don't make money, we don't make money. Accumulator is different because many times doing nothing is the right answer. And of course, the machine goes through all the thousands of calculations to decide that doing nothing is a good thing. So anyway, we can discuss this. And 1 credit equals $1. So you're basically paying $1 a day for each strategy. Now, let me talk. I'm stopping talking about InvestorAi. I'm just going to talk about how to get started, how to think of exchanges, how to look at fees. So which exchange you choose is a phenomenally important decision. Okay. Most exchanges, KYC is electronic, but it's not always easy. Sometimes the phone camera will not work. Sometimes it won't recognize your document. Guys, these are all teething problems. Don't worry about it. Just try again, it'll happen. Secondly, moving money into the account is generally not difficult. It doesn't matter whether you're in London, whether you're in India, whether you're in China. No, China is banned. Or you're in US, or you're somewhere in Europe. Moving money into your exchange account is not a difficult thing. Once you move money, then you have dollars or something, some currency or rupees in your account with which you can buy Bitcoin or any other currency, of course. Buying Bitcoin, very easy. So far, not very difficult. The problem happens when you look at exchange fees. Now, normally you don't mind because you do 1 transaction a week, so it doesn't matter what the exchange charges. With InvestorAi Crypto, we are doing many transactions in a day. So exchange fees do matter. And we have spent a lot of time investigating exchange fees, which are good, how to bring them down. And I will explain that to you in a moment. So, and exchange fees are a very big surprise to me because they can vary like 5-6x or even more. And you'll see real examples of that. Secondly, not every exchange covers all currencies. So coverage is also sometimes limited. So you have to be careful that you don't go into an exchange where we simply cannot trade because we cover 54 currencies. If the exchange you're with covers only 20 currencies, then we can't work with that exchange. And finally, prices for the same currency on different exchanges can be different. In fact, not just can be, they are different. There are many hedge funds that have been created that simply take advantage of this price difference. FTX, which is one of the biggest platforms in the world, their founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, he made his initial money by arbitraging the Bitcoin prices between US exchanges and Japanese exchanges because time difference was so much. And he started making $1 million a day. And that's how he raised the money to create FTX. So this is a very common phenomenon. So I want to talk about 4 points here. Firstly, where do you go? You choose an in-country exchange or an international exchange. This is particularly relevant for those of you who are based in India. Do you use an Indian exchange or do you go to an international exchange? Now, there is no restriction of where you can open an account or how many exchanges you can have an account with. Okay, so remember that. What you have to consider is the ability to fund the account in your local currency. For example, if you want to put rupees into your crypto exchange account, then you have to go to an Indian exchange. But there is nothing stopping you from opening an account with an Indian exchange, also opening an account with the international exchange, putting rupees in your Indian exchange account, converting those rupees to Bitcoin and moving Bitcoin to an international exchange. So it's a little convoluted, but it's not that difficult or that it is easily possible. You have to consider exchange fees. This is so important. I can't tell you. And then you should look at features and functions that do you get all the functionality. Okay, this is one reason we like Binance, because it is the biggest exchange in the world. It's the best functionality in the world, best coverage, not the lowest fees, but almost the lowest fees. Okay, and I'll give you a comparison. So we did some research and we looked at exchange fees for some of the common exchanges, both internationally and in India. So let me take India first. There's something called Unocoin, which I had not heard of, which charges 60 basis points, 0.6%. That is daylight robbery. If any of you have accounts with Unocoin, I feel so sorry for you. And similarly with some CoinSwitch. CoinSwitch is actually a very beautiful exchange, very easy to use, very easy to operate, put money, but it's very, very expensive. Okay, so just bear that in mind. The two cheapest exchanges in India are WazirX, which are 20 basis points and 0.2%, and CoinDCX at 10 basis points. Now remember, if you're buying something and selling something, which we do all the time, you will pay 2x the fees. So, if you're paying 20 basis points, you pay 40 basis points for one complete transaction. Internationally, you have Gemini, that is the 35 basis points, Kraken 26, Coinbase 25, KuCoin at 20, Binance at 10, and FTX at 8. Okay, so the reason I've ticked some of these things is anything 20 and below, I think is a reasonable thing. So again, I'm not telling you what to do here, that's your choice, but I'm just showing you what the exchange fees are, and then you can make your own decision. Now, one thing you have to remember, your exchange fee is based on your volume tier. So how much volume you're putting through every month. That's what they use. So if you have high volume trading, that can bring down your fees dramatically. And here is an example of Binance. Okay, so on the left-hand side, if you start with InvestorAi with $10,000, okay, it's not a massive sum of money. In 12 months, your trading volume will be 36 billion. Okay, because it's high frequency trading. Now, on the right-hand side, you can see how the fees start to come down. And you will see maker and taker. You can read what they are. They're slightly different. In the more optimistic case, you'll pay maker fees. In the slightly not optimistic case, you'll pay taker fees. But even taker fees come down to like 5 basis points after starting with 10 basis points. And maker fees come from 10 to, I think, 3 or something like that. So they come down very rapidly as your volume grows. Exchange just puts you in a different pricing tier. Okay. And InvestorAi will help you achieve lower fee tiers because of the high velocity of trading that we do. Okay, so but feel free to ask me questions on this. Lastly, we are for a number of reasons that I won't go into just now. When we launch in a few weeks' time, we will launch only with Binance. Okay, and we will add other exchanges in due course. But if you want to be a day one investor, and I genuinely hope all of you do, then please open an account with Binance. And if you use this special code 385037706, then that is the best thing you can do for this thing. If you already have an account, then that's fine. We will just use that. Okay, so that is all I had. For those of you who have pre-registered, thank you. For those of you who have not pre-registered, www.investorai.co.uk. There is a crypto page. Click on that, put your details, and we would love to have you as a pre-registered customer. And those who have pre-registered will be the first ones who will. We are going to do a private release for a small group of people, and people who are pre-registered with us will have the first shot at that. Okay, so with that, I'm going to stop here. I know there are lots of questions. Shruti, I'm going to hand over to you and look forward to taking these questions.
Akshay, thank you. There are questions. I think the questions are, I think some people still want to understand some of the basics of the market, like what are the challenges of the crypto market. So I'm going to take a specific one from Sachin, who's actually asking us, what do you think are the current challenges in the crypto market? And to that, he asks, and what's stopping people from investing in crypto?
Sachin, current challenges is a very big question. I'm not going to go. I could speak to you for half an hour on what are the current challenges. There are many. But please don't forget that there are also opportunities. Okay, anywhere where there's a challenge, there is also an accompanying opportunity. Partly it is your mindset, whether you focus on challenge or opportunity. It is partly your mindset, whether you see something as a challenge or an opportunity. But let me just leave it at that. But your second part of your question is very interesting. What is stopping people? Personally, what is stopping people is the complexity of investing. I will tell you, I had this problem. I consider myself a reasonably educated investor, not massively active. I don't do day trading or something like that. But the crypto market, I just don't know what to do. I go there, I see all these prices. I go to Binance, which is actually, I like Binance, but their website is so bloody complicated. You go to some of these others, they're jamming you with data, 200 currencies, prices this, prices that, offers here, competition here. It is bewildering. I just do not know what to do. Okay. And then I get very risk averse, think, look, I don't know what to do, how to do this. And I don't know who to go to ask for help. If you had a traditional financial advisor, the way you have an equities market, I would go to them and say, okay, please explain to me what I can do. How does it work? But there is nobody there. And there's nobody there who's going to do it for me. Now, alternative is to go invest in a crypto ETF. But, that is not really what I want to do. If I wanted to invest in ETF, I would be investing in ETF and nothing else. Okay. So that is really why we created InvestorAi Crypto, because we want to tell you what you can do, and then we want to do it for you. Because if I give you a 2-hour idea, Sachin, by the time you go and buy something, the price has changed. Once you buy it, then you have to constantly track it for 2 hours when to sell. You have other things to do also. Nobody can track it all the time. The other challenge is the crypto market is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So are you going to look at your portal or computer for 24 hours, all weekend, all day long, all night? Not possible. So you need a machine to do it. And that's the machine we have created.
So I think there's a continuation to that in exactly what you said. Shahbaz, I think that answers your question. So Shahbaz asked us, are you integrating your app with Binance, which we should answer, Akshay, but essentially saying if a person is not available at night, does the bot automatically buy, sell the crypto for you?
Yes. So first of all, yes, we are integrating with Binance. Binance will be the first one to integrate with. But remember, the integration doesn't mean, only means that you can take your API key and upload it in InvestorAi Crypto to enable us to transact. And you can cancel that at any time. So you're fully in control. And to the second part of your question, when you start investing in a strategy, you have an auto reinvest option. If you switch it on, then the app will continue to reinvest at night, on weekends, whether you're looking at it or not looking at it. And frankly, what that does, it compounds your return. Now, think about it. You may not make much return in a 2-hour cycle or a 4-hour cycle. You may make 20 basis points or 25 basis points. But if you make 20 basis points 800 times and you compound it, you'll get some astronomical thing. That is what auto reinvest allows you to do. It allows you to compound. Okay. So look, my suggestion to everybody is try it out. Don't put a lot of money in it. Put a few hundred, put $1,000, $2,000, whatever you feel comfortable with. See how it works. Learn what is happening. Join our webinars, because once it is live, we will have webinars to explain, how to understand some of the data that is being presented. What do some of the terms mean? Learn, use this to learn, and then if you get comfortable with, then go full out, all out. If you don't, then of course don't. So
yeah, so Akshay, I'm just going to continue on that same set of line of questions. Manav has actually asked us, and of course you spoke about the webinar series that we're going to be doing. The next one is on Tuesday, and all of you will hear from us. It talks a lot about how to connect to the right exchange and how to connect our app to the exchange. But Manav's question, Akshay, is InvestorAi considering integrating with decentralized wallets like MetaMask? There won't be any listing limitations there, and many investors prefer trading only on decentralized wallets.
Manav, for somebody who does not invest in crypto, that is a hugely smart question. Okay, but anyway, short answer is no. We will not be going to decentralized exchanges. I personally believe the risks with decentralized exchanges are very high. And I think when the regulation comes in, see, centralized exchanges are much easier to regulate because you are regulating an entity. With a decentralized exchange, who are you regulating? So I'm personally very nervous. Call me old-fashioned, but I am old. I am old-fashioned, and I'm risk-averse. And I don't want to take crazy amount of risk. I don't want my customers to take crazy amount of risks. So in the first instance, we will not be integrating with any decentralized exchange. We will stick to centralized exchanges. So there are advantages of decentralized exchanges, and you're right. But for now, in my judgment, the risks outweigh the advantages. So we will stay away from that.
I've got a very, a really good question, because I think some people who came in for this webinar, they want to almost go back to the basics, Akshay. So if either you or Sarthak want to answer this one, somebody's, sent me a message directly and has asked, but what is crypto? Like, just explain, because it was an intro to crypto. They just want to understand, what is crypto? Like, how, just explain to them, some basics of what is it about this asset class.
Yeah, so let me try that. And, I'd urge you to Google that question, because you'll get much better answers than I can give you. So the origins of crypto lie in this cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. It was created by a gentleman called Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know whether he was a man or a woman or what, because it's a pseudonym. Nobody knows who he is. There are much speculation in the world as to who this individual actually is. He wrote a white paper, and white paper basically described his philosophy of Bitcoin. The philosophy was that central banks are consistently devaluing their own currency by increasing money supply with no controls. And therefore the world needs a currency, and therefore you can have a 10 lakh rupees, okay, but if the money supply doubles, you suddenly have 5 lakh rupees, but you don't know that, and your life savings are being devalued through actions of others. And how do you protect against that? You can only protect against that when the total amount of rupees issued in the world is fixed and no one can change it. So he created this currency called Bitcoin, which has a very fixed amount of Bitcoin. You can only create 21 million Bitcoins, and you can only create a certain amount of Bitcoins every year. And I think in the next few years, this 21 million limit is going to be reached. And once there are only 21 million Bitcoin, then if you have some Bitcoin, it is never prone to inflation because it cannot inflate. And he technologically embedded all these rules in a blockchain. So every currency is listed on a blockchain so that no one can change it. It is incontrovertible and therefore fixed. And he said, if I issue this currency, then this will become a very popular currency. People will use it for transactions, people will use it for savings, people will use it for investments. Now, it didn't quite turn out that way. The fixed component of Bitcoin is real. The 21 million is a real number. The end date is a real number. But it was also anonymous. And this anonymity initially gave rise to a lot of misuse in terms of money laundering, in terms of criminal activity, in terms of blackmail payments and all kinds of drug payments and stuff like that. So Bitcoin acquired a bad name to begin with. But the concept is very interesting. Okay, I would urge you to read up more on it because I can randomly talk, but I'm not an expert. There are far better and more coherent people than me on Google. So please take the 20-30 minutes it'll take for you to educate yourself on this.
Okay, thank you, Akshay. Are we going to take possibly the last
No,
question?
I want to take a question from Pratik Chandrayan.
Yes,
he's saying who to contact if I face any issues during opening an account with Binance. Pratik, this is a phenomenally important question. I would urge you to come join our next webinar, which is going to be run by Sarah Yazuri. Sarah is going to talk in 2 minutes about what she's going to cover at the end of this seminar. But the next week, Tuesday's seminar is only about how do you open an account with Binance. That is one. Secondly, once we do this webinar, we will have little workshop sessions that Shruti will organize of 5, 6, 7 people each, when we will walk you through how it is done. It's very simple. So it will take 10, 15 minutes. So if you have 10, 15 minutes, just join. And, a group of 6, 7 people, you share our screens, you can see how it works, etc., etc. So we will help everybody. We will handhold you through how it is done. So please rest assured, please don't worry. We have a team who's going to work with you to get you across the line. Okay, it's not the easiest thing. I needed help when I was opening my first account, and Sarthak was my helper. So we now have lots of people who can help you with this.
Okay, yeah, that is a very important question, and I think I like what Praveen says. Akshay, he's already convinced with whatever you've said so far, and he says I will start with $1,000 whenever we're ready to start.
Thank you, Praveen. I hope that $1,000 becomes 10,000 very quickly.
Yes, and like that, Praveen, to stay in touch with you. One is a webinar series, but we're also on our Telegram community running. I mean, lots of very interesting discussions are taking place. We're answering questions. We do little video bites of what's happening around in the industry. So I urge all of you to join the Telegram community to stay in touch, and then you will know what are sort of the next things being planned for this launch, and you can be an exclusive part of that soft launch that we're going to be doing for our users.
Can we invite Sarah for just to do a 1-minute trailer on what she's going to talk about?
Sarah, are you here? Over to you.
She's here.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Akshay. That was very informative. So as Akshay said, next Tuesday, I will be on to essentially walk you through how you go about opening up an account on Binance, and then how you would actually connect our app to your Binance account. And that's going to involve some information around API keys and whatnot. So we want to make sure that we're here, hand-holding you along the way so that it's not too complicated. And yeah, you'll be on your way to investing with us on InvestorAi Crypto.
Thank you.
That was indeed a great trailer. So look forward to that. And you can see the registration link for the next webinar. That's just going to come up on your chat, so you can already register right now, but you will hear from us through email and through the community. The last thing I want to say before we close for today, because we want to sort of stick to the time, we want to just use possibly 30 to max 40 minutes of your time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. IST. Abhishek, you said that you just said that you may ask questions or you may not over here, but we're really open to all types of questions. So please come in to the next webinar and feel free to ask us these questions. And I hope you will do so in the community as well. So thank you everyone for joining today. We'd love to know what you thought about this webinar so that we could just give you exactly what you're looking for every time we meet you. This will also be a recorded link. We went live on YouTube, but you will also get a recording of this webinar. So perhaps can we have the poll of how the webinar went? But thank you so much. We're very excited that we've started the webinar series. And I think it really excites all of us at least at InvestorAi. Great. Thank you for coming in on a Thursday evening, and we look forward to staying in touch. See you on Telegram. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Akshay.